days away from the regular season, but one final preseason game on a Friday night at Chase Center. The Clippers in town to take on the Warriors. These teams have won the most games in the NBA over the last 13 years, and they put it on the line tonight. Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Kalena Azubuike. And are you ready? You know,
Yes.
4 days away, Tuesday in LA against the Lakers, it begins, but this is a dress rehearsal for some guys.
Everybody's looking forward to the regular season. And yes, whoever's played in the game, you treat it like a dress rehearsal. You prepare the same way, knowing that the regular season is on the way. You want to have a good showing the last preseason game, go into the regular season with some good momentum.
Both these teams are going to have a similar type of approach to the season. They have so much experience up and down the roster. For the Warriors, this season is going to rise and fall on 4 future Hall of Famers that have 651 playoff games under their belt.
Wild. This might be some of the most fun Coach Kerr has had coaching, because you get to coach these guys. There's a lot of know-how. You may be doing some teaching here and there, but not as much with these guys. These guys know how to play, and they're going to be teaching the young guys on this team. You just think about the longevity, the way they know how to take care of their bodies, all this stuff off the court, being a professional. But then on the court, they're meshing so well together. Al Horford, it's like he's been here for a long time. Already the give and goes. You see the non-spoken, the verbal communication there. It's beautiful to see.
If you look at the Clippers, they won 50 games a year ago. Similar to the Warriors, if they're healthy when it matters, they're going to be incredibly dangerous. They have so many guys with so many accomplishments. Chris Paul played all 82 games last year in his 20th season.
Kudos. I'm giving him a standing ovation. One of the great things about having a veteran team, and both of these teams have that seasoning, we like to say, is they're not going to be up and down with the roller coaster that can be the regular season. It's right here. Even keel the whole time.
They haven't seen.
They've seen it all, right? So they can impart that to the younger guys. The leadership is always going to be there. So we're going to see that on display tonight.
So the seasoned guys won't play every game, which means you need the younger guys to kick in, and that's going to be a theme all throughout the year. How does a Brandon Pajemski and a Moses Moody, Trace Jackson Davis, and Quentin Post, but this final preseason game, we say goodbye to the preseason and get ready for the regular season. The Warriors and Clippers coming your way. They made it to Chase Center on a Friday night. Kay, there's no traffic. Wow. This is the way to get into the SF right now.
Love it.
Oh, man. Clippers and Warriors final preseason game. And these two teams are going to be heard from in the Western Conference this year, I guarantee it.
They will be. One more before they start counting for real. Warriors coming off a pretty good game against the Blazers. You're still trying to work those turnovers down. Still trying to stay away from fouling, but they have shown they can come back from big deficits. That box is checked.
So Steph Curry, Will Richard, Brandon Pajemski, Draymond Green, and Al Horford. Jimmy Butler getting the night off. And guys with sprained ankles, little bang and bump. When regular season's Tuesday, so Ty Lue and Steve Kerr are not pushing it. Warriors do not want to turn it over, though, as they just did there. And Chris Dunn, Bradley Beal, Derrick Jones, Kobe Brown, and Ivica Zubac, and the Clippers return the favor and give it right back.
It's still preseason, so still working out the kinks. With that last pass the Warriors tried where Al Horford is being fronted, there's too much traffic in there. You don't want to try those passes.
Steph and Draymond up top, get Zubac on a switch. And Curry, he's already in regular season form. Stephen dropping in the three.
He's already got the giant killer working. Zubac, unfortunately for him, knows what that's about.
Chris Dunn was fantastic defensively a year ago. Didn't play enough games to get on the all-defense team. Driving in and flipping it up and in and drawing the foul.
And Steph's going to raise his hand there. Chris Dunn just got the angle on him. All these guys have an opportunity with some of the guys out. This is Steph. You see Zubac switched onto him through the legs. Best step back in the league, bar none. It's balance. He makes it look so easy. And this is just the help and recover that was tough for Steph. You saw how he had an awkward closeout, so just couldn't get him square all the way. Chris Dunn saw if I just rip it through quick and get to the rim. All right, you're going to have to work hard to keep from fouling now. There's Coach Ty Lue.
Well, he's got an incredibly experienced roster, as do the Warriors. They're the two oldest teams in the NBA. They won 50 a year ago. The Warriors won 48. Horford and Pajemski, that pass a little too high. And Steve has been happy with training camp. The Warriors have won multiple preseason games, have the only one loss, but the fouling and the turnovers,
That's
let's turn that faucet off on that stuff now.
Especially the unforced ones like that last one. It was just a pass that was too high, off target. So you want to keep those to a minimum if you can.
Bradley Beal has not played in the preseason. He gets the start tonight. Beal coming over from the Suns. That's what he does. Mid-range jump shots, and he can still score. Statistically, he had a pretty good year for Phoenix last year.
They did, especially if he's working off of Zubats. That's a huge human being, and Pods found that out the hard way. Just wiped him out on that screen.
That one deflected. You just see, if you're going to play for Ty Lue, you've got to be active defensively.
Well, they were the 3rd best defensive team in the league last season, and they have a chance to be even better. And all these veterans on the squad, they had a really busy offseason. Great to see Chris Paul back. You mentioned him playing all 82 last season. Bradley Beal joining the fray. Brooke Lopez, who's out tonight, but we'll see in the regular season. Like John Collins, who we'll see tonight. They got some talent.
Horford inside. He puts it in and draws the foul. And I want to piggyback on something you just said. Chris Paul in year 20 played all 82.
Crazy.
Buddy Hield played all 82. People think because you're experienced that you're going to miss a bunch of games.
Yeah, look at the 2 defenders jump out with Steph. Back door. We're going to Al Horford. He knows what to do. Like, you get to play with Steph. You just set your screen, roll to the basket. You're going to be open. Your man's going to go with Steph.
Now, Horford last year did not play in back-to-backs, but when he did play, he played 27 minutes a game. So this idea that both these teams are geriatric and aren't going to be, hey, give me the experienced guys who've been through and have accomplished a lot in this league.
Experienced veterans who want to play, who still love the game. They're not about load management. Anytime we can, we're trying to get out there.
So Beal had missed. Pajemski was spilled. Not enough to be a foul.
4-on-1.
And the lob to the high flyer. Derrick Jones has won a slam dunk contest, and Pajemski's still down.
Listen, last year he got hit in the face, the schnoz, so many times. We don't want to start this that early. Watch the forearm of Brown just come across him right here. He lost the ball. He might have got hit again after that. He's taken some spills, and he's shown his toughness a lot since he's been here already. Got a timeout. He's still on the ground getting up.
So a timeout to 10 to Pajemski, who is not feeling great after hitting the deck in a tie ball game. Launch in the final preseason game is a clean bill of health, but Pajemski was bounced sideways by Kobe Brown and did something with that left leg.
It looked like it was, lower extremities.
Because he walked off the court very gingerly and is going straight to the locker room here with Rick Celebrini.
That's the last thing you want to see. You want everybody to get through the preseason relatively healthy, and health is going to be the key word for both of these teams. But as you can see, like, younger guys can get hurt as well, so you need some luck on your side.
Well, Moses Moody's going to join us in the 3rd quarter. He's a little banged up. Kaminga had rolled the ankle in the Portland game. And, yeah, the young guys getting banged up. You can't have that either. So, and Pajemski's so critical because you're going to wait till probably late November for DeAnthony Melton. And in terms of guards, Brandon is a key cog in what you're trying to do.
Listen, no one, unfortunately, is immune to injuries. And all you can do is as much injury prevention as possible, strengthen all your muscles, the small muscles around the big muscles, and a lot of times that's not even enough. But you do all you can in the gym and physical therapy and all the new age treatments. Give yourself the best chance to stay healthy and see what happens.
I think our producer, Phil Policino, our director, Tommy Adza, were having fun when you said no one's immune to injury. Buddy Hield played in 94 games last year.
That's true. That's true.
Every regular season game and every playoff game for the Dubs. He played in 84 games the year before.
Yeah. Some guys, they are able to play. Fortunately for them.
Buddy Hield is in for Pajemski. Steph, little teardrop floater. Little underhand scoop shot.
But it was the hesitation that froze everybody. How do you deal with this man? He's got way too many tools. Derrick Jones Jr. came over and he left as soon as he saw that hesitation.
Steph is averaging a point a minute in the preseason. This for the baseline by Beal. Will Richard played extensively in the Portland game, and the rookie out of Florida, another guy drafted in the 50s, has been good. Curry is fouled.
That might be the high five contest as well, a little bit. He was out of control. But Steph is already regulating. He's in mid-season form. Like, watch Steph Curry just, he's just going to kind of rip it through, fake there. You see that little fake and hesitation that Derrick Jones Jr. bit on. Came over to help, left as soon as he saw that hesitation, teardrop. Zubats couldn't even contest. Steph has already impressed himself. When he's mean mugging and going stank face in preseason, he's already on one.
Well, he has 61 points in 60 minutes in the preseason.
Wow.
So,
well, it shows you he takes this serious, right?
Well, let's sum up the preseason. Steph Curry's good.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed.
Yeah, basically.
He's got 7 already. Feeding Zubats, who is really developing to one of the elite bigs in the NBA. The Warriors double him right off the bat. Shot clock down to 5, and Will Richard with a steal. Running with Buddy, fill in the lane. Derrick Jones, the leaper, he saved a layup there, and then the Warriors again turned it over. And that has happened far too often in these preseason games.
That's supposed to be one for the highlight. Will Richard, he can defend, and he started last game against the Blazers and played extremely well. Everybody needs to get the turnovers down, including him, but defensively, after the double team, he was playing the safety there, forced a turnover. They almost forced another turnover.
They're going to have Horford with the foul there. Al had the near steal. Well, we said at Media Day, we talked to Will Richard, introduced ourselves, and what are you doing with that 6'10" wingspan as a guard? He's unbelievable.
Well, he uses his length so well, but he's such a good team defender, too, as well as on the ball. And that's what every team needs in this league. Really good team defenders, being alert, the great defensive instincts. He has them.
Shot clock at 10. Bradley Beal.
He got his hands full right now because Will Richard is on Bradley Beal. Another turnover here. This is getting out of control.
And Derrick Jones puts it in. Steve's going to use a timeout right away. You're playing the Lakers Tuesday when it counts for real. Can't have 5 turnovers in the first 4 minutes of the game. Tonight's Warrior Shop item of the game. Get 30% off the Quick Strike t-shirt.
We're back.
Enter the code IOTG30 at checkout at shop.warriors.com. Glenn and I all off season, every restaurant, every bar we went to, IOTG30.
Yeah.
They're like, what's that? I said, hey, take 30% off this.
Okay. So they're in mid-season form now. They're ready.
Got to get your Curry gear.
Yes.
That guy who wears 30. They have the GM surveys. The best shooter, well, that's Steph.
Yep.
And then the GM said best moving without the ball. That also would be Steph. The best leader. That's interesting. 43% of the GM say Steph Curry is the best leader. And then who would you want to take a shot with a game on the line? Yeah, give me Curry and KD.
Absolutely.
Okay, 1-2, I'll take that.
Yeah, first. He's like that. Did you see that break 50 with Bryson DeChambeau?
I did. Lake Merced.
Really good at golf, too.
Out back iron for Buddy Hield. Warriors' first miss. Bradley Beal to the cutting Kobe Brown. A little up and under. And there's Will Richard again. Getting on the glass.
Collapsed on that cut.
Double Steph. Richard rolled. And Buddy's in the corner. And the rookie somehow threw it up the sideline out of bounds.
Pass was a little off target. He kind of jumped in the air and decided to pass it late. As he gains more experience, he'll know he's going to pass it sooner.
Zubats, right-handed floater, and Draymond will push.
I mean, that timeout was all about the turnovers. They're just trying to limit those, especially the unforced ones, to see if they can do a better job.
Al Horford off iron, and Richard with the rebound. Curry on a reload 3, and off front iron. Now, Brandon Pajemski has a left hip contusion, so not an ankle, not a knee.
You can live with those.
I don't know if they'll bring him back in the game, but that's probably the best news. Kind of a hip pointer from falling there. Chris Dunn with Curry rebounding it.
Just feel for Paz because he's so banged up last season. You just want him to have a healthy season. You already see them get see, those are the passes.
All right, now that's one. That is a pickup left hand, one-hander by Steph. Steve Kerr does not want to see that. Bradley Beal with the offensive rebound.
See, now's the time where you just come together as a team and go, okay, guys, let's get a little more crisp. Let's get 2 hands on the ball. Let's just make sure of these passes. We're kind of throwing it all over the place right now.
When deflected, Derrick Jones with the steal. I mean, the Warriors have 8 turnovers in the first quarter. done running the floor.
They're just trying passes that are just low percentage, that throwing it into traffic. And the Clippers, even though they have guys out, they still have length. And all these guys want to show that, yeah, we're going to improve defensively this year.
Well, the Warriors, once they got Jimmy Butler, the turnovers went down. And, I mean, there's nothing more to say. That's the beauty of television. It's all in front of you. But 9 turnovers and only 6 shot attempts?
They know, especially veteran teams. Like, there's not much that needs to be said amongst each other either. Like, guys, like, what are we doing?
Been a lot of one-hand off-the-dribble passes that don't need to happen, though, from a variety of players wearing white. Zubats. Ivica Zubats was just fantastic a year ago.
Amazing season.
Career-high minutes, points, rebounds, assists, steals.
And how good are they going to be at the 5 with Brook Lopez backing him up? I don't know how that pass got through.
TP2 missing that 3.
See, there's another one-hand pass. There's a time and a place for one-hand passes. The time is probably not right now, but at times you can pull it out. Another turnover. Warriors finally forced one.
Well, Kobe Brown got caught up in the air like you talked about. Buddy Hield in the corner, and that's a beautiful feed from Payton.
And it's crisp. You just break the paint, make the defense commit, simple play, kick it back out.
So Tyronn Lue does not want to see Buddy Hield left open for 3s. A little turnover fest early, but the Warriors, when they shoot the ball, good things happen.
Basically.
At Thrive City on the monster screen, watching the Warriors and the Lakers at Thrive City, the opening night watch party. Scan the QR code and RSVP now. Now that game will be on NBC, returning to the NBA. Our friend Mike Tirico, along with Reggie Miller and
welcome back,
Jamal Crawford.
Yes,
everybody be excited about Round Ball Rock is back.
John Tesh. Another turnover.
DP2 coming up with a steal. Gary right down the lane to lay it up and in.
That's a good way to come out of a timeout.
So you've got Yannick Conan Niederhauser out of Penn State, the big man inside. So John Collins was acquired in the offseason.
Yeah, he is super athletic. John Collins as well, but yeah, Niederhauser is 6'11" with crazy bounce. He's actually, in the combine, he had the second highest standing vertical, over 33 inches.
Quentin Post missing there.
But he's going to run the floor and finish.
Jordan Miller dominated the Summer League, averaged 22 in those games.
He kind of reminds me of a Matt Barnes type of player, do-it-all Swiss Army knife, two-way player, really solid defender.
Niederhauser missing there, Buddy able to save it. So Steph now in motion.
And Bogdanovich is shaking up.
Buddy Hield getting the easiest bucket. But you had a whistle there. What did Tony Brothers had? He had the foul before the basket. So Bogdanovich, he had also been banged up in the preseason, his first game.
I think Bogdanovich got popped in the face. Yeah, see.
Guy Santos.
Guy Santos got a hand on his face there. There's going to be some. Great to see Pod's back.
Oh, that's the best news of the night right there.
Yeah, he's not fazed by bruises or anything like that.
My hip is sore. Now it's not sore anymore. I'm back. I mean, Brandon had to have abdominal surgery and wrist surgery after the playoffs. You mentioned his nose being smashed into multiple times during the year.
It's just a target for everybody.
Taken away. Miller with a nice play on Quentin Post.
Just got to be strong with that thing. They're going to be swiping at it. I told you Miller is super defensive minded.
And John Collins, I think, was a great pickup. He shot the same percentage as Steph Curry from 3 last year. Bogdanovich missing. Niederhauser able to get that in. Niederhauser is just, when you've got Brook Lopez and you've got Zubats, that third big could be a young project player.
There you go. He's going to learn from those other two.
Buddy calls his own number, but short. But the depth of the Clippers. You can bring in Collins and Brook Lopez and Batum and Chris Paul off the bench. Niederhauser inside. There is Jordan Miller cut without the ball.
Just losing side of your man on the weak side. And good to see Niederhauser roll to the basket, making that great decision down there. A lot of bigs, it's tough to stop themselves, especially when they're that big. He stopped right in the middle. Sometimes you go push shot, or you can look for the weak side like he did.
Podziemski traveled Miller, guessed right.
Well, Clippers are starting to roll here. They're trying to extend their lead up 5 right now, but you see how Niederhauser is just fighting, got inside position on the smaller Gary Payton, and then you get the roll to the basket. He's knocking people over. He's making great decisions. He's had a nice impact since he's come in.
10 Warrior turnovers. First 10 minutes.
A little bit of a zone here. They're trying to go up top to John Collins.
Shot clock at 7. Niederhauser into Collins. Quentin Post sent it away. It'll be Clipper ball with 5 to shoot, but good recovery by Quentin there.
The Warriors have some of their own rim protection. Another good thing about just having a veteran team, here's the block here. They kind of teamed up on it. You just kind of collapse. You got Quentin Post getting it from behind. That's well done. It's team defense. That's what team defense is all about. Everybody collapses on the rim.
Quentin Post has gone to Al Horford University during this training camp.
Seriously.
Perfect guy for QP to learn from. Shot clock at 1. Off back iron. Kobe Sanders missing there. Pat Spencer's first playing time.
See if we can have a good end to this first quarter.
Shot clock at 10. He healed, creating a little space. Post out of the corner. Pat Spencer's in. The ball's going to move, and he's going to take care of it. That's beautiful ball movement there.
It doesn't stick. That's exactly what you needed. The spacing was a little iffy to start with, but they got it under control, move that ball around, change sides of the floor, make that defense move.
Sanders for 3. Guy Santos a little late on that closeout. Clippers shooting 48%, Warriors 46. Buddy Hield off back iron. Sanders getting all he can eat. Dropping in another one.
Buddy Hield got a little hung up down low by the restricted circle there, so kind of making the Warriors pay with a little ball movement of their own.
Warriors will see the Clippers 4 times in the regular season.
Here comes your split action.
And there it is. Quentin Post get denied by Collins. Sanders on the step through. Will lay it up and in and draw the foul.
The Clippers, you talk about their age, but they got some athletes. You got John Collins on the floor with Niederhauser. I mean, the rim protection is going to be there. You better get crafty with it. Look at John Collins just track this one down. That's an easy block. You better jump back into this shot block or see if you can negate some of that shot blocking ability. Oh, see that off arm though?
Sanders, Cal Poly, and then Nevada.
They're going to give him the benefit of the doubt there. They got some pretty good young talent as well, but that's, I was about to say, one of the great things about having a veteran team is a little bit of that attitude like, hey, we want to show how good we still are. We don't let these young boys come in here and take our spots, take what's ours. There is some super experienced guys who've had a lot of success in the league and want to show how good they still are. They're still at the top of their games, a lot of them.
Podziemski setting up Guy Santos. He missing off iron there. Brandon will track it down. Step into a 3 of his own. That looked clean.
Yeah, get bruised up, come right back in the game, knock down threes.
Podziemski 37% a year ago. Would love to bump that up just a little bit on threes.
He's worked on it all summer.
Single second, big clock, little clock difference winding down this first quarter. Miller well defended, but in this league, good offense beats good defense. So the heave, which doesn't count for individual stats.
36 feet now.
So 10 Warrior turnovers and a 10-point lead by the Clippers. But good to see Podziemski. So in the last 13 years, what Steph Curry says, realistically, to be relevant for this long, It is the Warriors, the most wins, with the Clippers right behind them, 688. It's the Warriors with the most playoff wins, and nobody's close. It's the Warriors with 4 titles. No one else has more than 1 in the last 13 seasons. And Steph and Draymond have been teammates longer than any tandem currently in the NBA. And so Brandon Schneider, the team president, I think the first thing we say the last 13 years, but we're coming upon 15 years of Joe Lacob and Peter Guber buying the team, and what a run it has been.
It has been a great run, but before we talk about that, we're coming up on 30 years. We're in 30 years of Bob Fitzgerald and Tim Roy next door doing games for the Warriors. So congratulations, Fitz. You may not like the sound of this, but I remember as a kid growing up listening to you on Warriors broadcasts. Sorry to do that to you.
I remember the first day you started for the Warriors, and now you're my boss.
That was when you were talking to the ticket salespeople.
I was. This is how we're going to sell tickets to this team.
You've had an amazing run.
And by the way, best local TV ratings in the NBA, 8 of the last 10 years. So Fitz and Kalena, you've been here for most of that. But by the way, best fans in the world. Dub Nation shows up, win or lose.
Absolutely.
Well,
they
start with that. What's the sellout streak at right now?
So 565 consecutive sellouts. It's unbelievable. Every game since December 18th of 2012. That game was against the New Orleans Hornets, who don't even exist anymore. That's how long it's been.
That is unbelievable. It speaks to the sense of urgency when it comes to Dub Nation, just getting to these games. The parity in the league right now, getting to watch Stephen Curry, generational talent, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, all these guys, but just the sense of urgency to actually get to games at Chase Center, because it's an experience, a great one.
Yeah. I mean, you said it, to get to watch Steph Curry, one of the best players of all time. He did just miss. That's rare. But to get to watch him every night's amazing. And the Western Conference is tough. Fans being here, sold out, the energy really does help our team. So seeing 18,064 people screaming for the Warriors every night makes a real difference.
You guys say with Steph, to me it's like seeing Elvis or Sinatra or Jay-Z or the Rolling Stones. Like, if you've never seen Steph Curry live, don't let his career go by without checking it out. Obviously, we love what you watch on TV, but we get to see Steph every night as he finds Peyton inside. Give us a thought on the summer. The Valkyries sold out this building 22 times too.
Unreal. So set the all-time WNBA attendance record. So I said Dub Nation's incredible, but really it's Bay Area sports fans, because the Valkyries transformed Chase Center at Valhalla. Nice little steal from Peyton. We're going to get Steph a 3 as we're talking about him.
GP2 defensively. Curry for 3 off iron. And he's saying, wait a minute, don't we have the new high-five rule where I got hit after the shot, but not called on that play.
And with Valkyries games, it's a lot of new fans too, right? Because it's only about around 5% fan crossover, Warriors fans to Valkyries fans, people come to these games. The atmosphere was great. I got to come to a game. I know Fitz did as well. It's a different pitch. I mean, it's a beautiful atmosphere.
Fitz was sitting next to me against the Dallas Wings when Veronica Burton almost brought the house down with Deanne won with 22 things up to clinch our playoff berth.
There you go.
First W team, expansion team in the history to make the playoffs in the first year.
3-on-2, and Draymond pays it off, and Ty Lue takes time. We're assuming you can hang with us.
I'll be here.
The Warriors begin the comeback. Brandon Schneider hanging out with us. 9:53 remaining in the half. And a Draymond layup as the Clips take time. The Warrior team store has unreal merch in terms of the color scheme and the logo, and Brandon Schneider was talking about this. Most wins by an expansion team, only expansion team in the W ever to qualify. Natalie Nakase was spectacular, and Veronica Burton. Give me Veronica Burton, who's almost like a Jalen Brunson type of player.
Kinda, right?
And she sold out every game.
Yeah, Veronica was unbelievable. I mean, she was good to start the year, but as the year went on, she just got better and better and better. And, you know, you saw most improved, also second team all defense in the league.
Yeah. So you're responsible for Thrive City. Shea Fico's open, Splash Sports Bar, amazing. There's the watch party on Tuesday. How about Thrive City becoming a destination spot in the Bay and in San Francisco on Warrior nights, Valkyrie nights, and concert nights too? Yeah,
well, and I would say on event nights, as you said, but 365 days a year. We had 7 new restaurants open in the last year. You named several of them.
Big Skew Barbecue.
Big Skew, yes, you got it, Kalena. There's something for everyone. All different kinds of food, all kind of local concepts. And this is the place to be. And you can just park under Chase Center, so it's easy. You know, easy underground parking. Go eat some dinner, get some lunch. It's the place to be.
And speaking of Chase Center, how many sold sold-out shows since like July 1st? Is it 11, 18 sold-out shows since July 1st?
18. I don't know how you know that, Kalena, but 18 since July 1st, 11 in the last 30 days.
Amazing.
And when you think about that, like in the last year, in 2025, we hosted the NBA All-Star Game, NCAA Regional, Labor Cup in September, Global Tennis Tournament. Oh, and by the way, we had the Valkyries inaugural season. Oh, and by the way, the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
Something for everyone here at Chase Center.
Very eventful. Splash. I got to get the Splash.
Now, Splash is fantastic.
Yeah. Amazing.
Great sports bar adjacent to Chase. Will Richard cutting, but couldn't quite reverse that home.
And the Labor Cup went really well. I know Steph came out to that. The most attended Labor Cup ever, I think it was.
Yeah, so there are 5 sessions over 3 days, all sold out. That is a tournament that was co-founded by Roger Federer. So he was here all weekend. Big star. It was fun seeing him and Steph. It was an incredible weekend. Great tennis. And by the way, Team World upset Team Europe, who had Alcaraz, Zverev, 2 of the top 3 players in the world.
I love it.
So the Labor Cup for golf fans would be the tennis version of the Ryder Cup a little bit.
There you go.
Some similarities there.
That's exactly right.
And talk to me about the 2024-25 Team Members of the Year. I know you guys celebrated that. Was it earlier this week?
Yeah, we did. So we honored 6 of our team members, and these are the behind-the-scenes folks that make this all happen. You know, we all watch the guys out on the court, as we should, but the ones looking out for the work we do in the community, the experience here at Chase Center, you know, all the stuff that we're doing to make sure we provide the right experience for Dub Nation here at Chase Center.
9-time All-Defense Draymond Green coming up with a steal there. GP 2 for 3 off iron. Zubats sent Collins on his way.
Well, we've already seen that the Warriors can come back from big deficits as John Collins tries his hand and gets stopped.
Horford gave ground, didn't foul. Will Richard for 3. And Zubats the rebound. So you mentioned the team members, and I like that throughout the organization, people are honored.
There they are.
In all these different departments, because how many staff do you oversee as the president?
We've got about 650 people. It's
my God.
So Fitz, when I started here, 2002, which is crazy to say, our whole company was 75 people, and now it's 660. Look at, so now we get them. We get to give Sean and Natalie and Caitlin, everybody, some love. Look at that.
And they're all honored there, and Kalena and I are ineligible for being a team member of the year because humility is one of the categories, and that removes us.
Why do you have to throw me in there? Like, I'm not.
Yeah, Kalena, let's leave you out of this. I mean, Fitz, here's the thing. You actually were eligible. We just didn't pick you. Sorry.
And I'm 0 for 30 years. I'm 0 for 30.
You would think at some point.
Now, did they get to choose whether they want a Warrior jersey or a Valkyries jersey, or is it just give them Warrior jerseys?
Well, Warrior season, that's a good point. You know, and by the way, when we do our camps, it's Golden State Sports Academy. When the kids come out to our camps, they get a reversible jersey. One side Warriors, one side Valkyries.
I love that.
Steph tried to throw that back, and Draymond's not letting Jordan Miller get the layup, but he will get the foul.
Brandon, you got to help us out with these turnovers, man.
It's working out the kinks in the preseason, Kalena.
It's a little bit of a rough start. You're just trying some tough passes. Here's the play that just happened. Miller just kind of looks back, and Draymond Green kind of lunges at him a little bit. Draymond doesn't like that. He felt like he held his line, but there was a little bit of a lunge there.
And Steve is going to challenge this for exactly what you just said, Kay. Now, before we let you go, the one thing that we need to have, $50 million for the Warrior Foundation under Nicole
Golden State
and
Community
Joe Lacob.
Foundation. Yep.
I mean, that $50 million, Brandon.
Yeah, so we have the biggest foundation
Really
in the league.
As
you said, $50 million. We're giving away $5 or $6 million a year at this point. And it's all educational equity for kids here in San Francisco and Alameda counties. It's something we're really, really proud of. You know, we talk about we want to win championships, obviously, and we think we got a good shot to do that this year. But we want to do great things in the community, and that really is part of our DNA.
Well, we appreciate you stopping by as always. Super fun. 0 for 30, Kay. Team member of the year, one of these years. We'll win the voting.
We'll think about it next year, Fitz.
It's going to be an unsuccessful challenge. What Kalena had mentioned was the defender has the right for a horizontal line.
Oh, this is a good one here.
So this is going to be a good look.
You're trying to hold your line that way. He kind of went that way.
Yeah, and so this is something that will be one of the points of emphasis.
Yeah, he knocked him off his block.
And that is a foul on Draymond. But when the Warriors play Luka Doncic on Tuesday, and then when they see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you have offensive players that veer into the path of the defender to create contact. Jalen Brunson also is very good at that. The defender has a right for a straight line,
right,
and not to be veered into to initiate contact. So that was a great replay, and Tony Brothers adjudicated it correctly.
And you feel out that line. It's kind of the line you start on, and you just don't want to veer into the offensive player's path. If you can hold your line, a lot of times you'll get the call, or it'll be a no call. I'd like to see a lot of no calls, actually.
It's the ground-bound version of the principle of verticality, where you're allowed to jump straight up, and if someone jumps into you, that is not a foul.
So we're getting back to letting defenders earn fouls. Correct. Just make them earn it. Like if an offensive player just goes in there and throws his body into someone, doesn't mean it's always a foul.
And that's the thing we talked about, where guys felt like they were electrocuted a little bit, you know, snap back and act like there's more contact than there is. Horford missing that three. Back out to Richard. Off front iron. So the Warriors are not shooting it well at all at 35%.
Well, one of the things with the turnovers is that they're passing up some of the shots. Like Will Richards should have probably shot that floater in there. Instead, he tried a tough pass when the defender is kind of sinking off of him. And, you know, if you're going to take care of the ball, like, at least get a shot up when it's there, when you're open. Now, if you're open and you try to pass it, it's probably going to be a tougher pass, because if there's no defender on it, that means he's probably somewhere else making your pass tough.
Can I give you a little bit of good news the first 5 minutes of this quarter?
Sure, there's no turnover.
The Warriors have only committed one turnover, and Richard will miss the layup.
I feel like he got a flat tire there. He wanted to go up and dunk it and just didn't get high enough.
So the Warriors have stopped giving the ball away. Now they have to put the ball in the basket. Kobe Sanders, like with Jordan Miller. Bradley Beal, that's an air ball.
Yeah, you have to wipe your hands after that one, because that was wide left. Worse than he normally misses. Another turnover. Just dribbling into traffic, throwing it into traffic. These are some bad trends with the regular season coming. You want to stop this ASAP.
Hit right back to Miller and laid up and in. I've never been so happy that a game was preseason and didn't count than this game.
Yeah, it's close to the regular season, though. That last game, you want to treat it like more of a dress rehearsal than this. And a lot of times, like Kobe Brown, just trying to overplay that one, deny that one. Look for some of these backdoor cuts. If they're going to be up on you like this, trying to shoot the gap at times, go ahead and cut backdoor. And if the backdoor pass is there, holster that. You don't have to throw that. Just look for the simple passes here. You know, sometimes you just have to practice some restraint, pass up some of these home run passes, thread the needle, surgical passes, and just go with something simple.
Trace Jackson Davis had 10 rebounds in the Portland preseason game, getting his first playing time. Yansky wing jumper. Now Spencer batting it out smartly. Will Richard got into the front court. So that wasn't a backcourt violation. DeSantos hitting the three.
But they didn't turn the ball over there. Even though Podziemski missed that first one, he didn't try to thread the needle and get that pocket pass where it could have been a turnover.
Bogdanovich challenging, and that's where he's so good. Trace is like gapping him because he doesn't want to give Zubac a layup.
Well, Trace was stabbing at it, and you see the veteran savvy there for Bogdanovich. He wasn't fazed by it. Like, I know you're not coming. I'm just going to go float this.
At Spencer. Skip pass to Richard for three. Just pulled down by Kobe Brown.
And that cut in there opened up that three. Just missed it.
And Zubac is fouled.
Zubac is holding on to his sternum there. You know, with Guy Santos around, there's going to be some collisions. He's going dumb hard. He knows no other way. It's a way of life. Just bring the ball pressure. Trace is on. You're just trying to fight through this one, and it's so hard to get around Zubac.
Who plays at a higher
wide.
RPM? Guy Santos or Pat Spencer?
They're both pretty high. I'm not going to pit them against each other. I'm just going to say they both play at a high level of intensity.
Bradley Beal floating that in. You know, if you're at a summer picnic in a water balloon fight, you don't want Keith Santos or Pat Spencer to be on the opposite team.
Bro, they're going hard. They don't know how to play nice.
And on that roll, Zubats, he stole it and then threw it right away.
Well, the only good thing about the turnovers is that the Clippers have turned it over too. They got 11 of them. That's a lot for a half. It's just the Warriors have the 13.
We did not see. We saw too many turnovers in some of the preseason games, but we didn't see the deluge that we've seen tonight.
Well, the Clippers, they're missing 2 of their ball handlers.
Right.
Chris Paul, you just saw him, and James Harden. So that's one of their excuses.
Steph trying to find Spencer. That deflected out of bounds.
Again, traffic in there. When there's a couple of defenders around, especially in between you and your target, maybe you don't want to try those ones.
Yeah, Chris Paul's like, I'm not going to commit 10 turnovers in the first 2 months of the season, right? I'll watch my team do it in an 8. That's going to be a moving screen before Steph shot the 3.
Yeah, Trace Jackson-Davis trying to get Bogdanovich there. He had him hemmed up for a little bit. He just got a little extra handsy, just kept kind of moving. Like, you just have to stand there. Steph's going to do the rest. You see that survey we just saw, the GM survey, the best mover without the ball? Just let him move. You just stand there, make the guy go around you.
Sanders and Bogdanovich with Zubats. Kobe Brown and Bradley Beal. They're doubling Zubats in the corner. Shot clock at 7. Sanders, who had a nice first quarter, misses the 3 there.
Watch out.
Trace looking for the dribble handoff to Curry. That's perfectly done, but Steph couldn't hit the 3. And then 3 guys, it's an offensive foul as Kobe Brown, he had Pat Spencer, Keith Santos, and Will Richard trying to take the ball away.
Wow.
And finally turned and smashed into one of them.
He was just trying to swing those elbows around. Will Richard was in the way. Kobe Brown's one of those guys. He would love something close to Draymond's career. He's kind of that player. He's a really good passer. At Missouri, he was kind of overpowering everyone. He kind of had to adjust to bigger human beings and more power in the NBA.
He was a 4-year college player, just like Draymond. Love that. That ball was kicked.
You're getting fortunate with that one too there. You're seeing the rotation skills the Clippers have. Defenders are going to commit to Steph. He's trying to throw it back into the pocket.
Nice screen roll with Trace Jackson-Davis rolling into Kobe Brown to put it up and in.
There you go, power up, and then again, Pat Spencer regulating. The 2 defenders stay up with him. He's going to make that pass in between there. But that was a good one, though. He had some space to get it to Trace Jackson-Davis.
Trace under control, nice finish. Bradley Beal moving without the ball. So Bradley Beal's got a dozen.
I think he's going to have a good season.
I do too.
And he actually said the best years of his career have come with playing with elite, as Draymond Green misses a 3, playing with elite point guards. All right, with John Wall, Russell Westbrook. Now you got Chris Paul and James Harden he gets to play with, just ticking other boxes.
Pat Spencer will draw the foul. Well, the thing with Bradley Beal, unfortunately, his contract overshadowed who he was as a player. People kept talking about his contract, and he gets traded to Phoenix and everything. When you look at his numbers, he's still a 20-point scorer at very high percentages.
He is. Like all the stuff that happened with Phoenix last season, the talk, is he coming off the bench, is he not? Man, he still put up some pretty good numbers.
He shot 50% from the field and 41% on threes.
And there's still a lot of teams that would love to have Bradley Beal. And again, I think he's going to benefit from playing with James Harden and Chris Paul. They know how to set him up. They want to get him off. They want to get him going.
So Shane Gillis is coming to Chase Center Friday, November 7th. The tickets are available now at chasecenter.com.
He's fun. He did the ESPYs.
He was great. The opening monologue. Crazy. You're rolling over athletes in person. That's a little rough.
He takes no prisoners, that guy.
Pajemski guarding Bradley Beal now. Clipper lead has been as high as 12. It's 10. Zubats pinned under the baseline. Shot clock at 5, and Kobe Brown traveled. I like what Trace did there. Okay, Zubats is at point blank, but you just pushed him under the backboard and didn't foul him.
It was perfect.
And that's the restraint you're talking about in terms of passes and not reaching and not slapping guys.
And also the Warriors didn't overhelp.
Yes.
So Kobe Brown, he got the ball. The zone was still on him. Even though you broke the paint, you got it deep in the paint.
So Steph and Draymond with Podziemski. Pat Spencer and Quentin post.
They're throwing double teams at everybody now.
That driving went right at Zubac, and Zubac didn't overcommit and didn't commit a foul. Hailu's going to take a timeout from behind the play. So 2:30. Take a look at tonight's winning, presented by Grayton Resort and Casino. The most seasons played in the NBA in terms of the history of the league. You notice one thing on that list? Everyone is 6'6" or taller except for Chris Paul.
Right.
He's the only little guy to ever play
Jamal
20
Crawford.
plus. Now,
we just talked to Jamal Crawford.
yeah,
over
Jamal, you know, 6'5", but you're going to have Mike Conley is in season 19, Al Horford's in season 19, and Steph's in season 17. So next couple of years, you're going to have a few more guys join that 20 club.
Man, big respect. You get to a score in the NBA over 20 years or 20 years, and that is unbelievable. It takes a lot of body maintenance, a lot of physical therapy, all the treatments, a lot of ice, a lot of game readies, all of that stuff.
Takes a lot of good fortune, too.
True.
True. You don't have a catastrophic injury. Kobe Brown missing there. Draymond is guarding a guy who wants to be Draymond. I think that's a great analogy, Kay.
That's it.
Steph creating a little space. Curry's getting his shots up, but he is 2 of 8 tonight. Warriors are shooting 31% as a team.
Well, the Clippers have so many guys with length. He's got Sanders on him. He's got that contest.
Curry hitting a 3.
So it's only right that he scored that one because he's the one that got the stop. He got the block, the strip, and then threw it ahead, relocate. Pat Spencer knows where to go. Right back to him.
And a travel by Jordan Miller. And the Clippers have 15 turnovers. The Warriors have 14.
It's never too late to start playing well. And you see the give and go, the relocate, the fast break relocate. How do you deal with that? You don't.
Steph turning the corner, gets all the way inside to put it up and in.
You can see this means a lot to this man. They come off of that handoff. He just went with so much speed. He left 2 guys in the dust.
So within 5 after being down 12. A little Curry flurry getting things close in the final minute here of the first half. Skip pass Bogdanovich to Sanders. Shot clock at 3. Kobe Sanders. Good defense by Podziemski.
I love that double team. Throw that double team. Zubac, make him give it up and rotate.
And Brandon off the Curry screen. They jumped at Steph, and that's where the gravity of Curry got Podziemski a layup.
And did you see Steph pointing at Pat Spencer? Like, that is the right read. You make the right read there. You're not looking for me here. I'm setting the screen. 2 guys are going to stay with me.
Pat Spencer 4 assists off the bench. Kobe Brown hitting the 3. So shot clock off. Much more reasonable for the Dubs the last couple minutes of this half. Down to 5. Draymond down the lane. Another Curry screen.
Another Curry ball screen. That's well done. Everybody stays with Steph. Open lane for Draymond.
So we hit halftime with the Clippers lead at 4. And Steph started doing everything. He had 12 points, but he got Draymond and Podziemski layups off screens. So at the break, halfway through the final preseason game, we're 4 days away from real basketball. And we'll be back to Chase Center with the Clippers up 4 at the break. And the Clippers having the 4-point lead. Now, you want to use that final preseason game as a dress rehearsal, but this is more like get the turnovers out of the way. Warriors scored the final 9 out of the last 12 points of the half. Make it a 4-point game, but forget that first quarter and just burn that tape.
It hasn't been pretty with the turnovers, but I do like how Steph came out, set the tone, the way he's moving, playing with so much energy. You've seen how on the ball, off the ball, he's such a huge threat. Warriors using him, setting screens. I also love what Pat Spencer came in and did. Played extremely well, rebounded well, assisting, pick and rolls. You love to see that.
Defensively, you hold the Clippers to 47 points and force 15 Clipper turnovers. That's pretty good, and the good energy and effort there. So, you know, both for the Warriors. Clean things up offensively, just keep playing quality D.
It's activity with their hands defensively. I think both teams are thinking about, okay, let's just get rid of the ones that are unforced, the ones we can control, like the passes that are off target, and then also clean up the ones where you're trying to throw it in, like there's 3 defenders around. Just don't throw it. You're trying to throw it backdoor, wherever it is. Holster that, live to see another day, make the simple pass. Both these teams can be so good offensively. You don't need the home run passes.
You know it's going to feel like the regular season? Kalena's, Buki's, big-time bifocals, because you don't have a preseason. You always are ready all the time.
This is a good action. When you're not turning the ball over, this is what I'm talking about with Pat Spencer. Just take your time. Come on out here, Trace Jackson-Davis. You see the connection here. And you're going to see Kobe Brown come over. This is what I want to see from Trace Jackson-Davis. Get back to powering through people. Use that physicality you have, that God-given body. Go ahead and do that. Why would you ever shy away from that? Now, this is Steph. Watch this. Zubats, key on him, expose him. He's going to lunge out at Steph. Oh, he's not going to shoot the 3. He's going by me. Got nothing for that. And Steph knows it, came off there with all kinds of speed. This is Steph off the ball, the decoy. Freeze it there, set that screen, zoom in there, and you're going to curl it around, get all the way to the rim. The defense is lifted, so they set them up beautifully with that one, and Steph points at Pat Spencer. You know where to go. That's a great pass.
Hey, if you're only down 4 when you're shooting 38%, you'll take that. The turnovers, just forget it. And for the Warriors, when they did get out and run, they had the advantage.
Yeah. They're opportunists when it comes to running the floor, pushing it up. See the 28 points in the paint for the Clippers. You want to minimize that if you can a little bit, but isn't it? The good thing about it, the Clippers have turned the ball over too. They haven't run away with the game. You still have a chance to put some good stuff on film here. Whoever plays in this half, Steph is going to come back out. Al Horford's going to come back out to set the tone early here and, you know, treat this half more like a dress rehearsal, not like the first half.
Now, we have put out the bat signal for Moses Moody to potentially stop by.
Yeah.
So
let's see if he sees it.
See if he wants to join us in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah. The man, I just think of wisdom when I think of that guy. He's just wise beyond his years.
Either that, or I'm going to call Kareem and Rona, his parents, and say, hey, we told Moses to come on TV with us. See if they can get the message to him. But he may join us in the 3rd. We begin the 2nd half. Christie. That is Max Christie's brother. Cam Christie dropping in the first bucket.
Wide pin downs. You got to have a floater in your game if you're a guard. Really, anybody now. All the bigs have that little push floater.
Steph getting on the deck with Horford, Pajemski, Draymond, and Will Richard.
Yeah, perfect. You saved a turnover. Get on the floor. Steph is okay. He's checking all his limbs. No problems there. You're not afraid to. It's preseason. You're already getting floor burn in your life. I love this. As long as everybody's healthy.
This is interesting because I'm sure Steve gave Steph and Horford and Draymond kind of the option. Hey, do you want to play in the 2nd half?
Well, that's how Steph is, right? That happened last game. Coach Kerr asked him, hey, do you want to come out? He's like, give me one more run.
Right. Draymond dropping in a 3.
You see Steph whip that pass to him there. Just saw Draymond's defender cheating off him. Draymond was ready to shoot it. Don't hesitate. Shoots it better when he doesn't hesitate.
So Preston and Christie up top. Kobe Brown going to launch a 3. Niederhauser grabbing that rebound and drawing the foul.
Well, that's what he's going to be able to do. Run the floor, rim protect, and rebound. You're looking at Steph Curry if you're defending because he's Steph Curry. And everybody's focused on him. Niederhauser just cheating off just a little bit, ready to help whatever happens, all the action. And Draymond just uses that. As soon as he gets the ball, let it fly. Another great thing about being a veteran team is Niederhauser rims one out. A lot of times on younger teams, there's sometimes a lot of agendas. Like you got guys thinking about contracts, kind of establishing themselves in the league, really trying to prove themselves. You don't have as much of that when you're a veteran team. It's all about one thing, winning. We're all here to win. We know what it's about. And now it's good to have a mix of that, though. You want guys to be proving themselves and thinking about that as well. It's always nice to have that because that can help the team, but it's all about winning with both of these teams now.
And the continuity for the Warriors, you get DeAnthony Melton coming back. You re-sign GP2. Draymond had that knocked away. Niederhauser. Draymond knocked knocked it out of bounds and stopped the fast break.
Once Draymond saw the ball was going to him there, he's like, oh, this is not his game. Let me see if I can get a hand in here, knock this one loose, almost forced another turnover.
I think you are going to enjoy Draymond Green and Al Horford playing together. Because defensively, they got all defensive chops. They have all that experience. Niederhauser having it knocked away again. Will Richard pushing. There was the restraint you talked about. The Warriors didn't throw it away. Cycling back to Podziemski. You wanted that to go in. That would have rewarded the patience of the ball movement. Pods 1 of 2 on threes tonight. Kobe Sanders with being fronted and now double. Niederhauser had it knocked away again.
They're getting deflections when Niederhauser gets the ball. But you talked about Draymond and Al Horford playing again. No one's more happy than Draymond. You're getting to start at the 4 sometimes and have Al Horford back there and his smarts and his ability to just read everything, be the anchor defensively. Oh, got knocked in the knee a little bit.
Cam Christie putting that up and in. Christie, the 1 year at Minnesota. He was the 46th pick a year ago.
Hopefully Al Horford's okay. He got kneed.
Got a moving screen and an offensive foul on Draymond.
Yeah, Draymond hates that. He's one of the best screeners in the league. Any moving screen. Him and Tony Brothers have an awesome relationship, though. They're always going back and forth.
Tony
clowning each other.
Tony is a treasure.
That's a moving screen. He's kind of backing out of that one.
Niederhauser up top. Al's moving good. Watching that knee after you mentioned Kobe Brown hitting the 3. So Kobe Brown is trying to show Ty Lue, all right, you put me in for defense and rebounding. I'm going to make a couple shots.
Well, everybody works on their 3 ball during the offseason. He shot 23% from three-point range last season. That pass is a little low. It's a good idea, though.
Good cut by, and Draymond knows, hey, Will Richard made a nice cut. That was the right idea. Those are the turnovers you can live with.
Yeah. A little wheel action on the weak side there. Worked out, but just on-target passes. Need those.
Ooh. Preston. In and out. Niederhauser putting it up and in.
If he's going to be in the restricted circle, Niederhauser, he's got so much length and so much bounce. It's going to be tough to stop him in there.
He's 6'11", 242. Niederhauser 2 years in Northern Illinois before going to Penn State. Sanders just denying Steph, and that gets Horford a layup. All the attention on Steph Curry, and the Warriors can play off of that and get point-blank attempts.
That and Draymond's defender was like right up on him, and Niederhauser is much slower than Draymond. So he's like, let me just rip this through. Everybody's thinking I'm going to Steph. That's also helping me out. And just drive the lane. See if you can get Al Horford a bucket. Those two can work together well on both sides of the floor.
I'll tell you, I think the Clippers are going to be very good this year, though. I love their offseason, getting Chris Paul and getting John Collins and getting Brook Lopez. The depth they have with even guys like Bogdanovich. And Kawhi.
Well, Kawhi Leonard is healthy.
Kawhi played 27 minutes the other night in a preseason game. That, if you're a Clipper fan, you got to be incredibly optimistic there.
Well, the fact that he finished the season healthy, was healthy in the playoffs in the 7-game series, didn't end the way they wanted to, but then he goes into the offseason healthy. He gets a healthy offseason. He's like, I get to just sit down and stand up without being in pain, without having to check in with some physical therapist, some rehab specialist.
Every game Kawhi has played in his career, his winning percentage is 73%. That is the 5th best of any player in NBA history. So when Kawhi's playing, teams he plays on, Spurs, Clippers, that they win.
They do.
And that's, you know, we have fun with 688 wins for the Warriors in the last 13 years. The Clippers are 686. They're the team right behind them in regular season wins.
Yeah, the Clippers are no strangers to winning in the regular season. They got 14 straight winning regular seasons. The 3 straight as Draymond gets an and one, driving the basket on Niederhauser. He's giving him the business now, teaching the young boy a lesson. But
finishers thought there 14 straight years of winning,
and they've been knocked out 3 straight times in the first round of the playoffs. So you're still looking for that postseason success. Look at the swinging. And you got to cut on the weak side, but Draymond's like, you know what, I don't like that option this time because I turned it over last time. I threw it a little low. Let me just drive by my slower defender. You got knock down the three-point play. Wasn't able to do it.
So Draymond's got 9. Steph has 12. Bradley Beal had 12 for the Clippers in his first preseason action.
Okay, now you little bit of a zone look. Kind of a 1-3-1 matchup. 1-3-1.
Shot clock at 5. Christie the open 3, but you got a rebound out of the zone, and Draymond does.
He did that.
Draymond and Steph trying to work together. Curry couldn't float that over iron. They are the longest tenured teammates in the league, 14 years together. With Draymond and Steph Curry. Preston able to put that up and in.
That last one with Draymond and Steph, that's one where Draymond tries to change the angle and then give it to Steph. Almost had another highlight.
Jason Preston missed his whole rookie year after foot surgery, 3 years at Ohio. He was the 33rd pick by Orlando in 2021. And Niederhauser had the block but saved. Will Richard an open 3.
Draymond, it wasn't frantic when he got the ball. He's looking around, okay. They didn't think we'd have this. The defense is a little discombobulated. Let me make them pay with this pass.
Hey, Will Richard, he doesn't die on screens.
No, he can defend them.
I mean, he fights over, gets a piece, all knocked out of bounds.
Well, he's good at all the defensive concepts, right? Fighting over the screen or fighting through screens, going under, and the feel on which one to do at what time. And sometimes young guys coming into the league, they're not as good with all those things, especially with as much screening as there is in the NBA nowadays. Many ball screens, wide pin down screens. You got to work through so many of them. If you're terrible at it, you're going to have a tough time in this league.
Buddy Hield checking back in and committing the foul, and that will send Cam Christie to the line. When I see Will Richard, I think of Trace, the 57th pick, Quentin Post, the 52nd pick, Will Richard, the 56th pick. You're getting some talent.
You are.
In the last couple picks of the whole draft.
He said he's getting it. He's like, the main thing is just trying to figure out this system. I'm asking a lot of questions, and that's smart. That's one of the things I always tell young guys coming to this league. Just keep asking questions. And you can make sure you're gaining the knowledge you need to, because they're going to give it to you if you ask.
So the Warriors are going to take a timeout with 6:58. I say Moses Moody's going to show up. Kalena says he's never coming.
I've never said that.
We're going to find out. Why was brought to you by Cresco. With 19 Northern California locations to serve your tool and equipment needs. And by the San Jose State Spartans. Get your tickets today at sjsuspartans.com. This was the open practice here at Chase.
Yeah, what do you think of the rookies singing in the open practice, Moses?
Yeah, they did their thing, especially Alex. He won the crowd over.
Yeah, crowd work. He went up there, yeah.
I told Kalena you would show up in the third quarter. He said Moses Moody's not coming up to be near us. I
didn't
said
say that.
He's coming up to put a headset on.
Here we go. Never bet against me. I love to come hang out with you guys.
Don't listen to this man ever. Like, it's always false information with this man. But good to see you, brother. And how you feeling? Obviously, you're just taking a rest. Obviously, you probably feel pretty good, but just taking a rest here.
Yeah, I feel good. You know, it was a small calf strain, but whenever it's anything with the calf, you got to be cautious and build that strength up before you get back in the mix.
We were having fun the first preseason game. You had the thumb surgery, but you came out and railed 5 threes, and it looked good. But you got to tell people, you were playing pickup and playing only left-handed, and someone said, I think that's Moses Moody, and you shot a couple things left-handed. They said, nah, that ain't him.
Yeah, I came out shooting threes, and it's tough shooting off the dribble. You know, you got to change your whole rhythm. And I hit straight backboard. They said, nah, that's not him. That's not the guy.
Man, you've been shooting it so well this preseason. You have a wonderful preseason. I want to ask you about something you care about. Your basketball camp back in Little Rock. Draymond came as Al Horford is able to score. Draymond came to the camp. It's been something you've been doing for a while. You really care about these kids, kicking knowledge of these kids, huh?
Yeah, I do. Just thinking about when I was a kid, when I was their age, I wasn't around any NBA players. Being in Arkansas, we don't have a team. So just given the opportunity to be around me and the stars that they've seen for so long who knows the outcome that'll have on those kids.
Well, this camp, you've had Klay Thompson come to the camp in Arkansas. Draymond comes to the camp in Arkansas. You're only 23 years old, but we always think you're older because you're so mature and you're such a good guy.
Wisdom.
What are you saying to these stars that they're like, yeah, Mo, I'm going to be there for your camp?
I really don't know. Just through the relationship, I guess they want to come be a part of. It means a lot to me. So I talk about it. I talk about it with them. So I guess that just makes them want to come be a part of it. So I'm appreciative.
Give fans an idea, how has camp been just in general for the team, the vibe? I mean, we're 4 days away from dealing with the Lakers and getting rolling.
Yeah, it's been really good. Just the vibe, the runs we've had in practice, the camaraderie we've had. The team all went to Jimmy's house for a couple days. So it has a really good feeling to it.
So you're a guy that defends really well on, off the ball. Offensively, you play off the ball really well. You can knock down the three. You're also a guy that can get your own shot and create your own shot. What's the balance of trying to figure out, okay, when am I playing off of guys? When am I deferring? And when am I going to get mine and kind of create my own shot? Because that's something we may see a little more from you this season.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I feel like the summertime is the time to really work on your game. I'm a professional, that's my job, so there's no reason that I shouldn't be getting better and better every summer. So I think about it as you need to develop everything in the summertime, get better at things that you won't even be using in the game, because when you put in that situation, you got to have it. I think about it like back in the times when you was going to war, if you're on the bow and arrow, you need to know how to work a sword too. You know, so I just think about it like that, working on my ball handling, working on my in-between game.
Now we're going to keep you till the end of the quarter. Don't say Kalena asked a good question. Once you compliment,
yes.
Once you compliment
I'm going to tell
him,
everybody that Moses Moody said.
Get back to that Arkansas-Kentucky rivalry. Give him something.
Don't do
SEC, man.
This is his problem. He's always trying to pit people against each other, right? There's a good thing happening here. Let it happen.
But you are going to be one of those point-of-attack defenders, and that's the big boys. I mean, that's Luka, that's Shea, that's... How do you get the mindset of, okay, this is the NBA, these guys are going to score, I just got to dig in again and again and again? Because if you take a 30-point score and hold them to 20 or 18, it's still a win. Even, that's make them a volume shooter that given night.
Me personally, I'm not giving them nothing, so I don't want nobody. I don't go in there saying somebody's going to score. My goal is to hold you to zeros. Anything over that. But I mean, it's the mindset of going and making it tough. Every possession I'm picking up full, just making the defender making offensive player have to work more, have to be in the defense mode, making decisions at half court rather than the three-point line. So it's taking all of those as wins rather than just how the possession goes and all. If I made it tough on them, that's a good thing.
Tell fans, how much does it take or how long does it take to play with Steph Curry? Because there's the relocate, there's the split action, there's realizing, hey, I may drive, but everything is to orient around Steph. Let him be the solar system that we orbit around the sun. That's not easy sometimes playing basketball, but it is when the Warriors are at their very best.
Yeah. But I think another part of that is to be comfortable playing with Steph. Just with Steph on the court don't mean that you should be watching him all game. You got to be comfortable to be the player that you are as well. So I think all of that is adapting to playing with Steph too, because it's Steph Curry that you've been watching your whole life, so it makes you feel like, oh, you're supposed to just give him the ball and get out the way. But now you out there too, you NBA player, you're supposed to be helping this team win. So I think that's all a part of playing with Steph, as well as recognizing him for the player that he is.
Finding GP2 and Niederhauser sends it away. Well, one of Kalena's old coaches in the Hall of Famer, Don Nelson, said a shot created must be taken. So if Steph or somebody moves the ball and it swings to you, that's what you got to rifle that three. I mean, that's part of the offense.
Yep. That one and the one that you come up and create yourself, you got to take that one too. It's just the aggressive mindset rather than passing.
And speak to the leadership on this team. Everybody talks about how seasoned you guys are. And with a veteran team, there's usually great leadership. That's the case with you guys, whether it's the Hall of Famers. But if I'm a Will Richard coming in the league, I'm going to be asking a guy like you questions, because if your wisdom is Steph Curry knocks down another three and leaves it up there, why wouldn't he? But to speak to the leadership and how everybody kind of has their own voice and leads in their own way, because there's multiple leaders on the team.
Yeah, that was on PPJ. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I think leadership. You got the ones that you think of being Steph and Dre, and Jimmy, the obvious ones, but it's so much you can get from anybody. That's been my approach my whole time. I learned a lot from D. Lee and Juan and Chris Chioza and Nemanja Bjelica. Like, all of those guys they're all been in the league, and they're doing something right for a long time. So just keep being open to the opportunities to learn, because you get the best from the most normal situations, those random conversations.
Absolutely. Patrick Baldwin Jr. knows all about dealing with Steph Curry.
Oh, yeah.
He was here with the Warriors. He dealt with Steph and others in practice, so no surprise there.
Well, Steve Kerr says be a star in your own role. And so I look at, okay, Steph has a role, Jimmy and Draymond, but Pat Spencer has a role. Quentin Post has a role. Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga. Be a star in the role that the team needs you and impact winning. That's the one thing Glenn and I really enjoyed. You're playing with a jacked up thumb last year all through the playoffs. We know it. You never said a word. I'll guard. I'll play as hard as I can. I'll deal with the surgery in the summer. And that for a young guy, there's a lot of guys like, yeah, my shot's odd because I'm playing with 4 fingers in my thumb. I got to tape it and stuff like that. You never said a word and played through all of it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I make the decision to play, then it ain't nothing to talk about. You can't say I'm going to play, but I'm hurt. Like, if you're going to play, you're going to play. If you're not, then you can say that you're hurt. So if I make a big deal of it, then the defense knows too. So we needed to win, we needed to play, and I felt like I could be a big part of that. So I just wanted to contribute.
Wait a minute. Flying down the lane.
Come on now, don't sleep on Buddy Hield's 1 foot.
I've got a post-game Q&A with Jimmy Butler and Buddy Hield. Do I just give them the microphone and get out of the way and let the two of them go at it? Give me some advice.
Pretty much. That's all you need to do. You need just stir up some controversy and let them have the rest.
Is that something you're capable of doing? Just giving them the mic and letting them go? Or no, I'm just kidding. But hey, talk to me about the conditioning aspect.
Okay.
That's a great pass.
Santos cutting without the ball.
Talk to me about the conditioning aspect of preseason, because I feel like everybody just kind of takes it for granted. Everybody's going to come in shape, but that's not something to take for granted. Like, everybody just comes in, does their work in the offseason, gets through the sprints. You guys are still doing the testing, right? The sprints, the 10 touches, is it now? Or what are you guys doing as far as the conditioning test goes?
Well, me personally, being on the rehab team, I'm conditioning more than everybody. Being out is a lot harder than actually being on the floor. I've been here since 2 o'clock lifting weights and working out. But I think as a professional, me personally too, in the summertime, I'm gonna handle my business. I'm gonna come in shape, and then throughout preseason, get in better shape, get in game shape. There's different types of things. So that's what everybody's doing. That's the time of year it is. Everybody's getting ready for the rest of it.
How much have you enjoyed the Bay Area, Dub Nation, and just getting around the Bay a little bit year after year as your career continues to grow?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I really, just getting here, you don't really know what to appreciate, and I had to figure that out for myself. My first couple years, I'm really just going to practice and going home, but now I've gotten into the tech scene a little bit, so having those business meetings and then meeting with people and really being able to experience the Bay that way, as well as going to the town and talking to people, going to different events that I've been invited to.
Can you hang for the final minute 36? They're making a comeback. Moses Moody's going to stay. He said, all right, I'll tolerate Azubuike for 96 more seconds. A mandatory timeout with the Clippers up 78-69. Effective scoring play in the NBA is a fouled three-point shooter. And there is a new closeout rule. They used to allow the release and the high five, but Moses Moody, now the secondary act. You cannot fly by after a miss and then smash into the guy's arms. And Steph Curry, I think, is going to benefit from this a lot, because we saw it in the playoffs, Dylan Brooks and others just swatting at Steph's hand. But defensively, what's going to be your mindset when you close out on three-point shooters?
Don't touch them. I think that's been the rule all the way up until now. Last year was the first time that they really started letting you get away with all of that stuff. But before then, you couldn't touch a shooter no way. So I don't think it's much of an adjustment at all. I think that's the way you should be playing defense.
And sometimes you actually have to make even more of an effort to do the secondary motion, the secondary swipe, instead of just closing out like we're all taught and just get a hand up as good as you can, or just fly by the shooting hand side and, like you're saying, don't touch him. So I think as much of an adjustment as people think it'll be. Like you're saying, I don't think it's going to be that much because guys are taught usually the right way. You just go back to the right way.
The only thing with Steph, though, is I think guys said, if I can foul him, hit him, hurt him, bother him, I'm going to just take a free swing. Those free swings are gone now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think just to that point, when else on the court can you just smack an offensive defender?
Right. Well, for the versatile and disciplined defenders like yourself, I don't think it's going to be that much of an adjustment. I do think we're going to see as Keith Santos gets a dunk inside, cutting. I do think we're going to see a lot of free throws when it comes to threes for the guys that are usually out of control, especially like bigs that can't stop their bodies and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll take it. I like it.
Yeah.
For you,
free throws.
For you, who's the toughest cover?
For me, who's the toughest cover? Stephen Curry.
That's not on your team.
Let me rephrase. Who's the toughest opponent to cover?
The toughest opponent to cover. There's different guys that have different things that they're good at, but just like they have things they're good at, they have things they're not good at. So my focus is always finding the weaknesses between the defenders. So that's just a nice way of saying, and I'm not going to say nobody is a tough defender.
You know, at 23, you're not supposed to be that seasoned. Yeah. You're supposed to fall for those things when I ask those.
The politically correct answer. What's the vibe in the locker room been like, and how high is the team confidence? Obviously, when Jimmy Butler got here, as they knocked down another three, when Jimmy Butler got here last season, the team confidence went through the roof. It's got to be even higher right now because obviously he's had the preseason to be with you guys at Nash and Gel and everything, right?
Yeah, I think winning builds confidence, and you know that happened when Jimmy got here last year. So I feel like just piggybacking off of that, seeing what we was able to do, what the trajectory that we was able to change and put ourselves on, I think we still building off of that, and that helps towards the confidence right now.
Final 5 seconds of the quarter.
Who's that? Tata?
And flipping it up and in at the buzzer is Cam Christie, and that's going to count. Moses, thanks for coming up.
Appreciate you, brother.
We love you on the air, but we don't want to see you the rest of the season. We want to see you on the floor.
Get back out there.
I got you. Cool.
Yes, sir. Stay healthy, my guy.
All right.
Good to see you.
That is Moses Moody joining us here in the third. The final quarter of the preseason. 11-point Clipper lead in the final 12 minutes before we do it for real. So the season begins next week, and you can get your season tickets. Brought to you by Kaiser Permanente. All Warrior games, plus perks like the Warrior Shop discounts, priority pre-sale access, and season ticket holders are going to watch the Jimmy Butler, Buddy Hield post-game conversation tonight.
You got to stay after for that.
We do those things for season ticket holders.
Steph is on the court. This is dress rehearsal for this man.
So Steph Curry will begin the fourth quarter. Bob Colena with you. Trace Jackson Davis, GP2, Keith Santos with Steph and Buddy. Jump at Curry with a shot clock at 3. He got it to Trace inside for the dunk.
Listen, Steph expects the double teams, just like in the regular season. The Clippers are playing it that same way, and he's able to bust out of there and find Trace Jackson Davis somehow.
So Jamal Telfort, the rookie, undrafted, 2 years at Butler. Ty Washington, Kobe Sanders, the deep reserves for the Clippers playing, and Keith Santos. Santos, when you play 3 flies up at a summer league picnic, is catching every fly ball.
Basically.
Give me that ball.
He's going to be everywhere. Ty Washington, another Kentucky guy. They're everywhere. 1 year Kentucky guy.
That's redundant.
We love the redundancy.
Buddy, he shot that high to get the bank because Patrick Baldwin had contested that nicely. Kobe Brown and Keith Santos stood him up. Ty Washington out of the corner. Pretty good contest by Trace there under control.
Yes, and no high 5 contest. He didn't overdo it with a secondary motion. Steph knocks it down from over 30 feet.
So Steph Curry playing 27 minutes tonight, and he's got 20.
Well, his thing, he's just going to stop where he has space. The defenders are going to be up on him at the three-point line, but that far behind, they're like, wait a minute, he's shooting it right now. He caught him off guard.
Well, Telfort touched that last after Patrick Baldwin Jr. missed there.
Steph is always live. Barely across half court, right in front of that logo. Pull! Man, he's ready. He looks so good right now.
Shot that from the Splash Sports Bar.
He did. He's been up there a few times.
I think for deeper step shots, we'll just start working in sponsorships for Shea Fico. GP2 missing, and he will draw the foul.
And GP2 is playing off of Wardell, as he would call him. Just go ahead and set this high ball screen. So now he's got so much room to work with as the big is kind of backing up, but GP2 is still able to get behind him, the little big man.
Okay, so
got to think outside the box with that man.
I got to ask you a regular season question that you and I have not talked about. When Steph and Seth Curry are in the game, what are you going to call those guys? Now, hold that thought, because you got Niners Falcons. That will be on Sunday. 49er pregame live comes your way at 4 o'clock on NBC Sports Bay Area.
I'm going to call them Steph and Seth.
Well, Steph and Seth quickly, they sound similar.
Well, but you're not going to be talking too quickly. Like, you can just slow it down for people, you know.
Because we never really say Curry,
do we? No, well, not as much.
Trace Jackson-Davis getting on the deck, and Curry has it. Out to Buddy Hield for 3. So the Warriors pull to within 1. It's a 10-0 run, and Curry is leading the way.
And Dub Nation is all into it.
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to call him coming back. Okay. 35 left.
Okay.
Wardell, Stephen Curry, the deuce to Buddy Hield, and the Warriors have made it a 1-point game. Come on, this is not easy, and yet he makes it look so easy.
See that hesitation, freeze him sub-zero. Jones Jr. wanted to come over, but he saw that hesitation. He took a step back towards his man, opened the lane for Steph.
All right, so let's tell the fans, on the Warriors, GP2 calls Steph Wardell, and he's the only one that really calls him Wardell.
True.
What do the other guys all call him?
30?
30. And so I think when Seth Curry is in the game with his brother, I'm going to have Seth Curry and 30.
Really?
I think I'm going to try that.
I don't know if I believe you. Are you really going to do that?
I think I'm going to do that.
You're just going to call him 30 the whole season?
No. When he's playing with his brother, I'm
Only when Steph and Seth are together?
Because Steph and Seth are so similar sounding. I could call him Steph in. I could do that.
I think that's going to be tough to do, honestly. We'll see.
Try to do it. All right, GP2 got fouled as he went to cram that down with the left hand.
See, GP2 is going to try people. Never too early to start trying people. Even in preseason, he's in regular season mode. He hangs around the restricted circle. Go ahead and climb those mountains. It's a pretty good pass.
That's a nice pass by Trace.
Niedenhauser, man, he's trying to baptize this man early. Welcome to the league. He almost got him.
I'm glad Gary landed safely, because you get hung like that and fall backwards.
But he was smiling afterwards like, oh, I almost got him. I almost got him.
Yeah, but GP2 is the only one really on the team that calls him Wardell.
Right. Everybody calls him 30. It might be tough to do, like 30 for 3. I don't know. I mean, if there's anybody that could do it, you could do it.
Only when they're on the court together, when the brothers are on the court together.
All right, we'll see. We'll see.
Dell's kid. No. Niederhauser puts it in, and he draws the foul. How about that?
He was trying to get him back, except it was Trace Jackson-Davis under that time. Look out below with all these guys.
Because you also could have Big Bro and Little Bro. You know, if they pass to each other.
Big Bro for 3. We'll see. There's so many different things you can call Steph. We just see what happens in the moment organically.
Exactly. So the Warriors kick off the regular season. There is a Thrive City watch party in front of that monster television in front of Chase Center. Scan the QR code and RSVP now. And our friend Mike Tirico and Jamal Crawford, Reggie Miller, they're right next to us practicing.
Yeah, they are.
For this game. That's because Tirico is calling Sunday Night Football, the Niners and Falcons. He's already in the Bay.
There's some talent over there. Steph is...
And 30 is fouled.
How did it feel to you? Did it feel odd?
I'm going to have to work it in.
You're like, ugh. It was a little interesting. No, that's...
I may ask Steph, what should I say when you and Seth are both in the game? How do I differentiate between the two of you?
I feel like it's clear enough you could just say Steph and Seth if you want to. I don't know. All right, I'm going to try it. 30 and 31 could be good.
Santos to GP2 to lay it up and in. I'll have somebody in League Pass go, this guy doesn't even know who Curry is. He keeps using his number.
Exactly. There's going to be at least one person that says that.
Draymond passes to 30. Patrick Baldwin Jr. Nice assist to Telford inside.
You get a little press action there. The problem is once they burst past your double team, Steph fires one from even deeper.
So as usual, the Warriors' compete level continues to ratchet up. If you're keeping score, the Warriors want to play to the last moment. That's a nice in and out by Sanders to put that up and in.
Wait a minute.
Oh, the foul.
How smooth was that?
Kobe
in and out,
Sanders.
In and out crossover. Guy Santos is like, oh, you got me to bite on that one. And then the help wasn't there in time.
It's interesting. Began his move with the right hand and then went left and drove left.
Yeah. He's got some good size as well with that handle.
So Steph will sit.
Is it Steph or 30? No, Seth wasn't in there with him.
Seth wasn't in there. Yeah, we have rules now.
There you go. Now Steph, the way he's just leading by example here, as well as with his voice, the way he's playing these preseason games, like we're getting ready for something special here, guys. Well, it's going to start counting next game.
Here's the other thing about him. All these people that bought tickets for a preseason game. Hey, you know, how many times are they going to get to watch Steph Curry live? Let me show out in a preseason game for 29 minutes. I mean, that's what stars do.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan,
show. That's what
Michael Jordan used to talk about that. He'd say, I'm playing because someone might be the only time they ever see me play live in their life, or they've saved up money and they brought their kids and whatever. I don't want to disappoint them. Yeah. And Jordan, he used that every night. People are like, why don't you take off a Tuesday night in Vancouver and stuff? It's like, no, I'm not.
I'm going as hard as I can every night. Put on a show. Show out.
Pat Spencer, the fadeaway. He's gotten good at that mid-range.
Man, he's had a great preseason.
He has. Well, he's got 6 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds in 12 minutes.
Well, his handle is really great, man. And the pick and roll, ball handling, decision making that he's displayed, and just continuing to work on that shot. He's knocked down some mid-range and threes.
Patrick Baldwin Jr. missing there. Niederhauser with the rebound, and L.J. Cryer knocked it off his leg.
Yeah. Cryer, you know he's going to come in and go as hard as he can, put some great stuff on film. He showed out in the end of games before here in the preseason.
Pat Spencer's another Santa Cruz find, though. True. You know, we talk about Trace, 57th. We talk about Quentin Post, 52nd. Will Richard, 56th. But Pat, he was a free agent after being the all-everything lacrosse player.
Well, the development is real with this organization. You saw Mike Dunleavy there. But everybody's job on this team in this organization is super important, no matter how many minutes you're going to play. With Pat Spencer, even if he's not playing a game, and he is going to play at times, like he got some, especially if someone gets injured, but in practice, make sure you're getting the guys ready. Whenever you can go hard and have some good practices where you're getting some good run, which is few and far between, go hard and get you guys ready.
Pat Spencer missing there. Guy Santos flying in, but they'll say he touched it last.
Guy Santos is going to be flying a lot of places when he's in the game.
You know, Draymond says this, and I think it's perfect. Playing hard all the time is a skill.
It is.
There's no off nights for Pat Spencer and Guy Santos. They're coming in 1,000,000 miles an hour every time they get to play.
Especially when you know that's your role and you're a piece with your game. You know everybody on your team expects you to go hard and have that high motor. The second you come in, as Cryer has that high motor and gets that steal, shoots the gap.
L.J. Cryer has been a lot of fun to watch in the preseason. Quentin Post missing that three. I hope Cryer ends up having a lot of run in Santa Cruz, because I think Niederhauser, another dunk.
I told you. He's bouncy, and everybody's smiling on that bench. Kawhi Leonard. Because you do have Zubats and Brook Lopez, but he's the bouncy big. Like, they don't have a big. Zubats is athletic, but this guy is a different level.
He's got a little Derek Lively in him.
He does. He does.
Santos dragged that pivot foot and traveled.
Patrick Baldwin Jr. moved his feet there.
Well, the turnovers have stopped in the second half primarily. The Warriors had 15 early. They have 21 for the game, so only 6 after the early just barrage of giveaways.
But for Guy Santos, Pat Spencer, if they have a day of practice or any game where they come in and their energy is not at the level it usually is, everybody else is going to go, what's wrong with these guys? Yeah, what's happening? So that's not an easy thing to do as Preston knocks it down a little floater.
Steve Kerr going to use the timeout here as the Clippers push it back to 8. 5.5 left in the preseason with the Clippers with the 8-point advantage. Our Ford plays of the day brought to you by your California Ford dealers. We already love Al Horford. He plays defense. His basketball IQ is incredible. He can hit threes. He's a good passer. He and Draymond are going to be a tremendous defensive tag team. What an acquisition for Al Horford to choose the Warriors after he won the championship with Boston. This is going to be a real add to this team.
He gets it. He has a lot of tools that the Warriors are excited about. Obviously being able to stretch the floor, but he can do some work inside. He's still got back to the basket game, touch inside, but his smarts, the IQ, the way he blends and meshes so well with the guys already. You've seen it in this preseason. I know he's excited about the regular season.
So Quentin Post and Guy Santos, LJ Cryer, Will Richard, and Pat Spencer for the final 5 minutes here. Moving screens have been called repeatedly.
It's up to the screener to get stationary ASAP, and then the ball handler to just wait, let him get stationary.
And that does count as a turnover, by the way.
It does. And the main thing there was Quentin Post just kind of rolled out of it a little too early, just stand there and then roll.
Oh, we've been watching Niederhauser, and Quentin Post played him better that time.
It's fun to go watch Quentin Post go up against some of these bigs.
It is.
Different skill sets, different tools, super athletic.
QP can drag him out to the three-point line. Not a lot of guys can cover out there. Nice up and under. Will Richard. Show off a little bit there, rookie.
Will Richard already has the moving without the ball thing down, and Cryer is going to get into the paint. That's one of his great skill sets, his strengths.
It's almost like Will Richard won a national championship in Florida. He does things to impact winning. Truth. Spencer, good contest on the baseline. Kobe Sanders missing there.
This group is just trying to finish out strong.
Will Richard three. The up and under, and then the three. And the rookie in crunch time here coming alive.
Listen, one more preseason game. Why not have some more fun here? Another clutch game.
And Pat Spencer played the D. Preston couldn't finish. Richard gets it back for another three. And that was the heat check. Guy Santos like, all right, you're feeling it.
Yeah, he's feeling good there.
Patrick Baldwin Jr. and to Telford to lay it up and in.
Yeah. Will Richard is usually so much better off the ball defensively than that. He just kind of lost sight of his man ball watching.
No LJ Cryer can shoot. Setting up Richard again. That long rebound. Cryer got a hand on it. Pat Spencer got a hand on it. Another opportunity for the Dubs. Ooh, pass a little low.
He had the right idea, though, trying to drive by Niederhauser. He just probably should have kept it instead of trying that pass. But you see, he just got Niederhauser to commit, and you get Will Richard cutting, moving without the ball. If you're going to be on the Warriors, play with Steph Curry. Better be able to move without the ball.
Final couple minutes, Kay. Give me a thought on the Western Conference. OKC, Denver, Houston, the Clippers, Lakers, Warriors, Minnesota. Like, I can't wait for this season.
There's just no off nights, and the parity in the league is serious. Quality of basketball, quality of talent at the Western Conference is at an all-time high. I mean, you think about even the Dallas Mavericks, when they get fully healthy, they're going to be a tough out. I mean, this Clippers team, they're going to win a lot, especially if they can stay healthy. It's all about the health with these two teams in the season as they are, but OKC is still the team to beat. You can't forget about the Lakers as well, with the dynamic duo they have in Luka and LeBron. Like, there's so many exciting stories all around the league. The Eastern Conference too now.
The Eastern Conference a little banged up with Tatum and Halliburton being out for the year. The Knicks Cleveland and Orlando looked like the powers there.
Yeah, you know the Cavaliers are going to come back. Desmond Bain with Orlando. They needed shooting. They finally got that.
Pat Spencer, the bucket and the body, and an opportunity for a three-point play.
Even teams like the San Antonio Spurs in the West, with De'Aaron Fox and Wemby coming back. Pat Spencer is always going to make great things happen. Look at him just keep the ball high. That's so fundamentally sound. Don't bring it down if you don't have to. Over the top, Sanders couldn't get to it. And he's more powerful than you think, man. People are bouncing off of Pat Spencer.
Pat Spencer, 9 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds in 18 minutes. And one hellacious mustache. Kobe Sanders, final 2 minutes here. Preston had picked up the dribble. Shot clock at 2. Telford out of the corner and missing that 3. So a 2-possession game. Pat Spencer open 3. And Trace putting it up and in. Got it over Niederhauser. Trace Jackson Davis.
He's been going up strong tonight. Listen to this crowd. It doesn't sound like preseason. They're ready for the regular season.
They're going to be needed 41 home games because you're going to have every game in the West is going to come down to nights like this. The nation's got to be there to help this team. Sanders missing there. Long rebound to Preston. Preston spinning down the lane. Trace met him there. Sent him away, but a foul. Got him with the body contact.
He tried so hard to keep his verticality, but Preston did the right thing. Jump into his body and hope you get the contact enough for a foul. That's not easy to do. Preston just kind of lost his man there. And he's jumping straight into Trace Jackson Davis. That's a tough one, but you understand the call. We didn't even mention the Rockets, or you probably did, but the addition of Kevin Durant, Amen Thompson is a problem.
Well, the Rockets, Amen Thompson's a star. He's on the rise. KD, he scores like breathing, but they're playing 2 bigs.
They are.
You know, the Şengün with Steven Adams. They have Clint Capella as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they were the 2 seed last year when the Warriors beat them. I mean, the Rockets are going to be something.
They're going to be fun to watch. Nuggets are going to be good.
So both free throws missed, but Baldwin Jr. with the rebound. And then had it knocked away and got it back. So protecting a 2-point lead with a shot clock at 5. Kobe Sanders flipping it up and in. What a finish.
That's a great ball screen. He just came off of there so fast. It got up so high. Got a chance.
Richard 3. So within 1 again.
The Warriors are definitely going to get it back.
Will Richard in double figures. He's been scoring in bunches here in the 4th. Can he get a stop and score to finish the preseason? Sanders holding up top. Attacking and another block shot, but another body bump and more free throws coming.
Well, they're in attack mode. Just a little communication breakdown. Watch the 2 defenders go with Pat Spencer for a split second. Gave Will Richard time to knock that one down, but the gall, the boldness, the audacity to shoot it for the rookie. You love to see that.
I'll tell you, Trace has had 2 calls that in the regular season might have just gone as blocks.
And he's doing all he can do on those. They're attacking him. They're initiating the contact.
He's jumping straight out. He's supposed to be entitled to that verticality. So Kobe Sanders.
Those are interesting. It's so hard to restrain yourself as an official when you see that contact happen. But you know, just because there's contact doesn't mean it's a foul. Let's see this one. How straight up does he go? Yeah, I think that's got to be a no call because he's jumping backwards. There's really nothing he could do. He kind of held his line for the most part. And that's one, if I'm Trace Jackson Davis, I'd ask the official, what do you want me to do there?
I would say, as it's a 3-point game, you need a 3 to tie. If you're Trace, just keep doing what you're doing. Because in the regular season, I think you're playing on. Warriors needed 3 to tie it. Guard in the world is Stephen Curry. But the best big man in the entire sport is Nikola Jokic. And the home opener, and it says hope opener. So let's have that hope. When the Nuggets come to town on Thursday. You can get your tickets at 888-GSW-HOOP or Warriors.com as the Warriors take on Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets.
Looking forward to that. It's going to be a great season. Warriors have a chance to do something special. Gray hairs mean wisdom, and they can use that wisdom on people. Not that they have gray hairs, but they are experienced.
All right, you going quick 2 here and fouling? You going for 3? What are you doing, partner?
I'd say probably go quick 2 if you want. Whatever is open, really.
LJ Cryer.
Now you got to probably go 3.
Will Richard will shoot the 3. They'll try to tie it. Kobe Sanders took the ball out of bounds to Warrior ball.
We got 13 seconds to work with. Can you execute something to get a 3? The quick 2 option is probably passed.
This is one
we just want to win the game.
Would Ty Lue foul intentionally up 3? In the regular season, you would. Trace is going to get the quick 2.
Okay.
Stayed with that. Now the Warriors are going to foul if he get a steal, but Will Richard will be called for the fouls. That ball was thrown away, but he had the contact.
I don't think either of these teams want to go into overtime if they can help it. So, yeah, go for the quick 2, foul, see what happens. See if they miss a couple free throws or 1.
Well, as ugly as kind of the first quarter and a half was, pretty spirited basketball in the second half, which is good. I think Ty Lue and Steve Kerr is going to be much more appreciative of that. And I think Steph Curry set the tone by, hey, I'm playing deep into the second half.
He did. And for these guys that are playing right now, it's always great to get these experiences.
Yes.
The more the better, the clutch games. You're going to need these types of experiences in these types of games in the regular season. Because I feel like in the West, like we're talking about, it's going to be who can win the most close games.
Yeah, well, Preston missed his first 2 free throws, so then bottomed that one. And hits them both. And Steve Kerr's going to play it like a real game. He's going to take a timeout with the Warriors trailing by 3 with 10.8. Kalena wants overtime. He's not ready to let the preseason go. Everybody should have Xfinity because they have the 5-year price guarantee, the fast, reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years with no contracts or pump fakes. I actually did that.
Yeah.
I called Xfinity. I said, do you really have a 5-year guarantee where the price is going to... They said, yes. I said, I want that.
There you go. Makes sense.
What stays the same price for 5 years?
Yeah, that's true. That's amazing. Well, there you go. You could still go quick 2 if you wanted to. Keep playing it out, extend the game.
The Warriors could design a 4-point play here to get the win.
Yeah, go 4 or 2. One of the other.
Lean in, draw a foul, and then make a 3.
See what happens. Or you could shoot the 3.
10.8. They're not going to take a quick 2. So 10.8 down 3. Cryer's the good 3-point shooter. Will Richards made a couple 3s. Will's got it now. Not firing there. 5 seconds left. Cryer for 3. Off back iron. And that will do it. So the Clippers hold on. That finishes the preseason. Curry played 29 minutes and had 20 points. Steve Kerr and Jeff Van Gundy having a moment there. You're going to see a lot of the Clippers 4 times. Bring on the Western Conference, bring on the regular season. And Kawhi Leonard, Chris Paul will have a very good Clipper team in the West, and Steph Curry is going to lead a very good Warrior team as well.
I think both of these teams are looking forward to it. They're ready, get those turnovers down, stay away from the fouls, get off to a great start in LA.
So Tuesday night, NBC is back, big NBC, with the Warriors and the Lakers, and we'll be with you on Thursday for Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets in the home opener. Preseason is done. That guy is worth watching. Don't miss any moments of Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Al Horford of the Dubs this year. We'll have it for you all season long. 106-103, the final for Kalena Azubuike. Bob Fitzgerald saying so long from Chase Center. Regular season on Tuesday. Let's go.
Yes, sir.